Hello everybody and welcome back to ETF2, well, welcome to ETF2L 6v6 Season 49 Prem Qualifiers Round 2. I am Rook and I'm joined by Beta as we are watching a matchup between Garda versus loobie, and the stakes could not be higher right now, right Beta?
Yeah, this is lose and go home. We have 4 teams remaining and we have only one spot that is actually available here to get in Prem. Everyone else booted into Div 1. If you lose, you're out. If you win, we'll move on to the next round. We have 2 semifinals, then we have a grand final of the qualifying rounds. So that should be very exciting, and this is obviously round number 1. And I have a feeling that Garda is probably going to make it. That's my favorite personally to actually make it. So we'll see if that holds up or if they're going to struggle today.
I mean, I think it's fair to say, right? Garda have been pretty impressive on the whole. Managing to have a pretty decent season in Prem last season. But I don't know, I'm looking over towards loobie, kind of excited to see Hex and Luca. Those are players that kind of stand out to me. Interested to see if they're going to be able to have their day and make it through to that final spot competition that'll be coming up in the future. Obviously, their opponents yet to be decided as well. That one is over on Essentials TF. If you want to catch that one, that is Aware versus... what was the other team?
Big Bloke Land. Oh,
Big Bloke Season. Ah, yes, great name. So if you guys want to drop in on that one as well, you can have 2 streams open. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to be live pretty soon here. So I've already stated who I think is the favorite in this match. What are your thoughts on what we're about to see?
I think you're fair to say, obviously, that coming into this, Garda are the favourite team. But I have faith. I think that loobie definitely can put in a good map, and I think that the maps are definitely going to be a big part of that. I think that Gully is definitely going to be really favoured towards Garda. I think they should be in a great spot. But don't forget, we've got Process and potentially Sunshine coming after that, and that might be a little bit better for loobie.
Yeah, basically, it's going to be a soldier's paradise, this whole map setup.
Yeah.
So it's going to be real fun, lots of action. We're going to be rolling out to this first mid right now. And I'm just looking at, if the demos are fast and the other, no, they're both pretty fast. Get out some solid damage here, and we're about to get a big jump.
They are player down below, but they already take down. What nice kill onto a scout there. Does mean that they are under a lot of pressure if we see those bombs start to come on in. But look at Bud, does get round behind. Chris is in a good position as well, but with Hex down as well, those scouts, that means they're right open, and there goes Seeds. That was such a beautiful flank coming out from the soldiers.
Yeah, Chris just hiding around a nice little air pipe there as well from Shabby. He's going to die to the self-damage, but it is plenty to actually lead his team to victory there. Yeah, Chris was just sitting around forever near that fence, just slowly. Actually, no, it wasn't Chris. I think it was actually Bud that was doing that. But either way, a red soldier just forever, just hanging around there, splitting the medic off from everyone else, and then eventually even killing him here. You see them trying to spam out the sentry gun. Pretty smart to just go forward and see if you can spam that down before you push it. It's a big Brad. Not really able to succeed so far, but at least the sentry is going to be pretty far back. There's some Pyro just hanging out, so they're going to make it as difficult as possible here. loobie, they don't want to get around on them immediately.
They got the whole off-cost squad trying to keep that sentry line for as long as they can. And they do lose King the Jungle and Kido here, which does mean it's a problem. There's a player on the point. You've got to contest it. Kesh jumps on in, but there's a soldier who dies. Chris doesn't manage to survive, but the rest of the team does. And Garda take that first round in pretty short order.
That was clean. Just immediately taking down the demo man, putting a ton of pressure on the point, and then just once you've got everyone baited down there, you just converge on them and take them down really cleanly there. Very well done by them. Catching out Seeds, you know, it's pretty fun to see Seeds playing on this kind of a team, where it's an up-and-coming team and not just a team full of veterans. It's Seeds that's the veteran. So that's pretty interesting to see. But yeah, he got picked off real quick there, either way. And we've got the same setup here on mid as before.
Let's see if those C's take fruit. Right now, Chris is below again. Aggressive positioning from Garda Panteri. They're really looking to hit the pace, but there goes the jump forward. Wants to try and find something. They do take down a couple of players, but those scouts are starting to come alive. Zox does get something, but it's not quite happening. Really nice aggression from loobie that opened up.
Oh, Hex is flanking in here. Oh, okay, nice. My box tag protecting his medic, and that's going to be that. It's a pretty interesting situation. Seeds went down. He's going to spawn now way behind on his Uber building prowess here. So Condoc is going to be moving in. They want to use, or well, they want to get in onto this mid without using Uber, but that's going to be very difficult, especially now they've lost Chris. There's going to be so much pressure and spam in this joke. I think they're just going to have to pop through. You can see he really doesn't want to, but... Oh! He catches the pipe. That is really unfortunate.
Yeah, that was absolutely brutal to see. It does mean that advantage they had is now ripped away from them. Shibi tries to contest, but it's just not happening. And another great fight for loobie. They couldn't take that second, but wasn't a problem. They held strong. They won the fight. Yalin is behind, is looking for something here, but they absolutely spotted.
Yeah, they knew who's there. He just knew he had to put a ton of pressure onto this midpoint and cap it out, but they just left two players there. They take the 2v1, no problem. And now it's going to be a complete role reversal from before. Big Ubraz for the Seeds. And they're just going to go in through the shutter door this time around. There's no Synagogue or anything. They just need to get kills and put pressure.
There is, but it's interestingly placed. Hex is just edging this one, gets sent away by the soldiers as the control of the right-hand side is in good stead for loobie right now. They're just holding strong, trying to unload that damage, but the Pyro trying to keep them away. No one can test the point properly. They were too far back in water, and a really great call there from Cage to actually just go for that.
Yeah, they took forever to actually get onto the point. I don't think there were any stickies on it, actually. There was just a single soldier there. But eventually, Hex just jumps over the lip and just takes the 1v1 and just barely managed to cap it out before anyone got there. I think even if they did manage to get there in time, it still would have been a really bad situation where they probably would have been spammed out and lost. But yeah, quick 1-1 here. I was a little nervous after that first round, but this is going to be a real game.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely what we want to see. Kido in position already, trying to unload that damage. Again, the soldiers playing below, wanting to get that fight going, but Wutak taking so much damage early, can't have that same aggression, but they still jump forward. They're really pigeonholing Nunya right now, but it's Kido who falls first. But it's a decent trade. Demo gone for Scout and Demo. That's a great position for loobie. They just need to pressure, keep those players alive. They lose a little more seeds. Goes to 1 HP, but does survive for now, just barely dodging away. They have to retreat here. But the aggression keeps coming. They keep diving for it and actually manage to, well, not quite kill Nunya yet, but the Uber is forced at the very least.
There. If he doesn't drop, he doesn't have the Garda Saw bind anymore. That's tragic. He actually got a saw and made it out of there alive. Obviously, he's still going to be at a massive Uber disadvantage, but that was just this classic Scout chariot, basically. They're just winning that fight. Big bomb in here from Chris, trying to get the Uber Force out as they come through this choke, but so far unable to really do so. They're just playing it really slow here. Hex is really far forward. Chris going down, that's going to be that. I think they're just going to slink put their head between their tail between their legs, and run back to last. It's Uber has come out actually. Yeah, Kido is in so deep. He has no fear. He is just in.
Yeah, Hex picked away like that. That means a lot of the kind of like tip of the spear of this team is just not able to really push forward. So do really like that, the fact that they caught that. The Uber coming out there from Seeds, not sure if it was a force, I didn't see. But I'd be surprised if it wasn't. It felt a little bit awkward. Interesting to see if it's going to be pushed into a second now.
Yes, they do have the Uber at. This is not the most difficult map to push out on. It's actually very doable. Oh my god. Actually catches out Kido. He trades with Bud, but that's not going to really be something that he loses any sleep over. There's a Scout Uber here. Double Scout is trying to body block. Voxer desperately wants to get to Seed, unable to do so though, however. And they even get Chris and Voxer. Wow, this has been quite the overextension here coming out from this Uber. And Season's about to have his own Uber as well. This is actually a great situation. And they didn't even cap mid while all of that was happening.
Yeah, the Uber wasn't super. They really did overextend, but also just didn't find anything for the Scouts. Fox not able to have that kind of pressure he needed, and as a result, they lost a lot of players. They're probably going to have to back out second as well. Look at the shots going down range from the right-hand side here. Worried about that player coming in from mid, as the rest of second has already been given up position-wise. They're going to try and get Chris out to give some space, but the Uber is used back into them, as it seems like it's Uber ping-pong between these teams right now. But this time, loobie, they don't overextend. They don't lose a lot off the back of that Uber, even though they use it and don't get necessarily any much more out of it. They're sensible. And as I said, before Yale just jumps in and kills.
This is just crazy action right now. Neither team are really able to get a proper Uber push going right now. Both teams are just so slippery. It gets out and then they just punish them immediately as they overextend. I will say Kido has been really, really aggressive so far, and he's been punished pretty heavily, I'd say. So I think he actually needs to take a chill pill and just be a little more careful where he positions himself, because the amount of times that he's been picked off and they get him, okay, they just popped around the corner. There's no one here at all. There's a single soldier who jumped in, but that's it. I don't even know if they saw it.
And Vox goes down to a stick as he runs through his shutter. It's a little confusing.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! What is going on? Just drop after, well, not drop after drop, but med dying after med dying. Just not able to keep them alive at all. Those Ubers. Not happening. What, sorry?
Yeah. Chappie should have died there, but he got a really nice pipe, and now all of a sudden there's only 2 players alive against 6. There's a bunch of hurt players about to come running in here against one tanked scout, and he doesn't find a Uber yet, but there's just so much firepower coming out from Garda right now. And there we go, Uber has been forced out, and now everyone's just doing their best Delta split, trying to get out, but they got what they wanted basically. Point almost captured, but that's not really what they were after. They were after the medic there. Obviously you take the round win if you get it, but yeah, as long as Condoc's alive, this is good. He takes a lot of damage in choke, so he's not really able to help them heal, but this cap point is looking real sketchy, and Bot hits the crazy double air shot there. Well, there was definitely 2 directs on that scout. Just murders him.
Yeah, really nice heads up from Vox to keep their team alive for a second, but Nunya still falls. Losing that med again, I mean, I think it's fine because they get the team wipe here, but very messy fights going on here, but
okay, spots on him.
Yeah.
All right. That is just so much back and forth over and over. Like, both medics were dead at the end of that, and it just seems like they're really, really willing to just send in soldiers, get them behind, just focus their medics really, really hard, and it's been kind of working for both teams. It means we get this really chaotic TF2 action going on, which is a lot of fun to watch. But it must be really, really stressful for those involved. Either way, 2-1. Eventually, Garda Panteri will end up winning that round, 2-1.
Yeah. Hex is again putting that pressure out to make sure there aren't any players looking to get aggressive from below, and Lutak is just going absolutely in, really getting so much damage going. Those soldiers, as we said before, having a field day right now. They're going to clean on up. Shabib goes down. That's a full team wipe on mid.
Almost a perfect mid as well. They only lost 1 soldier. You don't care about that at all. You can cap the scouts and the demo man forward. You can even maybe look in there, make sure they don't build a sentry gun properly. And this is just looking so good. I love that they just immediately answer back here. As we have a sentry gun being set up, we do have a sniper just trying to maybe counter this stuff. But yeah, they're already spamming the sentry gun. That does mean it doesn't get upgraded properly. So we'll see how they decide to push this time around. I think the last push they had was not very clean, but let's see if this one can go better. They sent 2 into water.
Yeah, with the Uber flash as well, as the Uber comes through the main portion of this, but it wears off. The players are in a decent spot, but they've lost quite a few. Vox needs to get there quickly. There's not enough time, and Crits was a nice choice, but they just couldn't get to the point.
Yeah, that was a beautiful push. It worked out really well. Sending 2 players into water, they got some kills, put a ton of pressure on the point, got the sentry gun down immediately, and then they could just follow everything up very simply. Get those kills that they needed, lots of damage, clean. Yeah, got there to the point just before the crits came out. Really good stuff. And it's 2-2. It is anyone's game so far. We've only played for 12 minutes. This is a lightning fast TF2.
Yeah, lightning fast TF2 on Gullywash, not something you expect to see, but lightning fast has gone Kido, Chris, and a lot more players are taking tons of damage. Bud goes down as well, and you can see that already, I think Garda are eyeing up a chance to push back. But Yalen is behind, keep an eye on this scout. If they can find something, it's huge, but they've lost control of the middle section here, and if Yalen doesn't find anything, it's just nothing at all. Nunya is going to try to run away. You can see Seeds is trying to keep their soldier up and going. Some good shots, but doesn't quite kill.
Alright, he had to bob and weave for that one. Condor almost dying. Yellen is still behind, trying to see if he can cause some trouble. He's being sneaky here. Actually perfectly catches out the soldier. Decides not to go for him. I guess that's part of the sneakiness factor. And they're actually playing pretty aggressively up top. They want to use their Uber to do it, but Yellen now, he has sprung the trap on behind, but he actually ends up dying, or at least trading with Bluton there. So everyone, I think they're just gonna run back to last. There's a soldier pretty far forward.
Oh, I can't believe Bud and Chris managed to find those frags up and river. That is exactly what they needed to make a move forward here. Without one of the scouts, there's a lot more pressure they can put on. Jungle goes down instantly. They are outnumbered massively right now. Blutard has to back off. You see the players pitch and hold up into the top here. The Uber exchange is coming through as the rest start to run out. But you got to be worried if you're Garda right now. You've got to get those players out. You've got to get Nunya to safety, but there's no such thing as safety in the hands of Blutard here as they cut them out from this opportunity. Kej holds strong, defends their medic at least for now, and will keep them alive for a second longer before they're finally taken down. It seems like keeping medics alive is not really on the menu in this game here.
No, but lots of good pipes, lots of good damage there from Shappy, along with Chris, is eventually going to be able to win that fight, cap out the point, and that's really important because you don't want to get stuck on last here. Do we have a crit streak on either team? No, they're just going to stick to the normal. It's really normal when two medics spawn at the same time like this that one of them will go crits, just because you build a little bit faster, but
yep.
No gimmicks so far.
No gimmicks, just absolutely slamming your face into the other team. Seems to be the plan so far. And honestly, that seems like a good place for Garda Panteri. They've always been particularly good when it comes to slightly messier game states, and I think this is a great position for them to be in. But it's definitely looking a lot more even here on Gully than I would have expected, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought they would be a lot more comfortable, but so far, absolutely not. It seems like whenever they get around, they just instantly get rolled back. But this is actually the most calm we've had so far. The longest period of time where no team is actually doing much. So it looks like they're going to rotate into big door, maybe try and send someone behind. We see the demo man is holding inside. He's putting stickies on the door, being pretty obvious about it. Blutard tried to jump through, unable to get in there. Keto again almost dies, gets arrowed there at the very end, so he will be able to survive so far, but that's just going to cause the aggression to come back in here. We had soldiers, scouts in really deep, unable to get onto siege, but alright. When one soldier comes in, the second is close to fall, and is actually going to end up with an Uber force on siege, but it costs 3 players to do so.
Yeah, well, there's far, and well, there's one soldier, there's many in this game. As he said, the Uber force, but it'll be interesting to see if they can actually make advantage of that. As he said, 3 players. And a lot of pressure going on. Doesn't quite take down Nunez as the second soldier. Doesn't quite lead into anything. And really good defending again from the combo to make sure they don't lose too much here. And now they've got an absolute advantage.
Yeah, it's always really scary to have like 5 players running you down whenever you have, you know, just 3 players, you know, your medic and 2 pockets. That can go wrong so quickly. But they really managed to toe that line really perfectly here. Didn't get too aggressive, didn't get too passive, didn't give up too much ground while doing so. And now, as a result of that, they're going to get this really nice opportunity to push into last. And they're just going to Uber in immediately now. Sentry gun has been taken down. Point is being pressured now. There's no stickies on it, but they actually hadn't captured second, so it didn't really do much that they got that point pressure. So a little bit unfortunate there. And now Seeds does have this Uber.
Yeah, nicely done, especially with the heavy dropping in to keep that one on lock. There were a couple of players really trying to just rush that one through, but it didn't quite land. Still a player here. No, Yellen, I think sensibly chooses not to commit here.
He should have died to that sticky trap.
Sure.
Absolutely sure. Yeah, Keto was looking at it for that very moment there. Soldier jumps in pretty aggressively, just wants to make it really difficult to get through this door. There's a single scout out here, will actually end up being taken down, and they've actually managed to hold on to this. That's really nicely done here. It's very scary to do this kind of pressure when you know Seeds has the Uber to use. And actually, they're threatening the backup as well. They're actually Ubering onto last. They have a guy in water. Yeah, Soldier's going to come in. Scout's going to follow up. That's yelling on point, and there we go. The pressure is too much. Yeah, that was all done with no Uber against an Uber. Very impressive pressure.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be just really committing forward for that pressure with those soldiers again, like you highlighted at the start. And neither team really wanted to give that up. Decide or no, they're gonna fight. They're gonna look for those opportunities, and I think especially when you've got the point on lasts like that, you can really, you know, outsmart or outwit your opponent in those scenarios. And I love to see teams going for it.
Yeah, pretty aggressive jump in here from Garda to start out this mid with their soldiers. Junjal's going to come in here, but so far not actually getting too much stuff done here. Every single, like, there's only hit scan classes left, and they are just running away with their medic. So pretty great mid overall coming out here from Garda Panteri.
Our control point is being captured.
It is going to have to be those off classes coming out again. The Classic, the Engineer, the Pyro, they're going to try and make sure, but there's already a player going into water, and this might make things very, very difficult for them if they don't pay attention. Fox is waiting there, over on the scout for a chance. They do spot it out, but Fox is, I think that it might be able to take down player. No, they commit a little bit more towards it, and with the main push being completely flushed out, it's just not happening.
Yeah, scout in water, gets caught up by a Pyro, up against the wall. Just flames cooking you. Not much you can do there. Nice little pick off there from the soldier. It's going to make the pressure a lot easier to bear. And they decide not to go for it. Understandable. It's even Uber situations. You want to have a really big ad if you want to push out of last on even Ubers. Like you want like 4 players more than them or something in order to do that. So they're just going to sit back, put Yalin on sniper. And, well, we got Yalin on sniper on red on offense here. So let's see if we can actually make something happen.
They do spot out the player in the back, and Fox does go down again, but I think they're just rinsing through these opportunities. Hex is getting aggressive over on the Pyro. They actually take down the soldier, getting the air blast there. You love to see it, and even a demo on fire right now as they back away, and I'm loving the aggression from loobie right now.
Yeah, this Pyro has no fear at all, and it's kind of nice to have them up here just because usually when people are holding, they're holding pretty close to that wall, so any pipe or rocket that gets spammed in there, if you reflect it, you're probably going to hit the medic pretty hard, right, with that reflection because they're just up against the wall. So, yeah, it didn't happen right there, but you always have the opportunity to really make that happen. Sniper down in main again. And so far, not really getting a whole lot, but the point pressure, oh my god. They just cap it out.
Oh. I can't believe Voxy managed to win that out there. Point blank with a soldier just dances around them. Really nicely done. And another round on the board for Garda. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was a big distraction play, and then the distraction play just ended up winning them around accidentally. Like, that can't have been like the main plan there, right? Like you just assume that's not gonna work, and then what you do is that in that commotion you send in your sniper or your soldiers or whatever, right? But no, they just capped it out. Kido gets jumped pretty early again, but he's gonna be back in the fight here. So the initial pressure from Garda is actually completely stunted right now, and I think they're just gonna have to retreat because there's just no way they're winning this. They are so weak.
Yeah, they lose too much in the earlier part of that fight and just cannot do it. Yalin again. Behind, looking for a back cap potentially here on mid, or to drag him away to find some space time. Some shots onto blue turret. They do now know where they are, which means in short they're going to be gone. They are indeed. But second is now held a lot more by the red side. Garda Panteri going to start to back up a little bit, not investing too many players into mid. They're not that overzealous, but still going to be able to shut down some of these key points.
Yeah, I love that they're holding big door with the demo man right now, because when you're missing a scout, it's really easy to have one of the opposing scouts or soldiers run in behind the big door. But obviously, when you're holding there with the demo man, you're pretty likely to just sneak trap him. So I really like that decision. He's probably going to rotate around to the choke once they get all the scouts back. But we'll see how they do it. They're being really aggressive. They're just farming damage right now with this choke.
Yeah, they are. I mean, again, this is the kind of slower play that you normally expect, right, on Gullywash. But it's not been what we've had. It's not we've had. Sorry, it's not been what we've been having so far. And plays like that are what we've been having so far. Just jumping through, just absolutely gangbusters for it. But it's not working so much.
No, that was just a really clean rocket. Gets him down. Not even close to being far enough in. Let's see if he wants to do any kind of shenanigans. No, I see no man threats, no nothing, no banners. Well, what banners are even allowed these days? Is it just the buff banner?
I I actually don't know. I can't remember off the top.
Yeah, they keep banning different banners, but yeah. Just looking at how much they've been spamming each other in choke, it kind of seems like Ben's a good idea here, but we actually have them running 2 players behind, a scout and a soldier, and well, there's always some pressure on mid. So this is getting really messy. Oh, scout behind, causing some trouble. Causing a lot of trouble.
Honestly, playing more like a sapper here, completely dismantling any opportunity. The Uber has to come on through a beautiful force. And Kesh completely holding that one up for their team right now. It's going to be Uberad coming into last. They're going to have some players who aren't quite up yet. I think Bud, if they're quick, they can get on this. No, they don't quite have the time, but still those positions not completely set up. The sentry not even at level 2 yet. As Uber comes on through, they got that one. They see the players come on in. They really want to contest on the point, but with the demo back in water, it might not be so easy. They need to finish off this heavy. They need to finish off just a little more, but they lose player after player here. And Garda Panteri, they hold strong.
Yeah, it's just Kid who left. Caesar's left long ago. He definitely knew what was coming in here. You see Bud try to give chase. I don't think he's going to be able to get in there. He's not very healthy. And respawners will come in here. So Seed survives. That's good. Good play by him, but everyone else just not able to get onto that point. I really like that they actually played with the demo man in water. They haven't been doing that so far, but this time around they did. It worked out really well. Soldier goes into a choke here, and actually it's going to end up being Shappy that does while the soldier gets out alive. Now this chokehold might actually be pretty sketchy, but they are just going to hold forward. They have this Uberad. So if ever Seeds gets too close, they can just pop on it immediately, but unbeknownst to them, he is in the other choke. He is so far back. Seeds know how to count Uber. He's not going to fall for that.
Not going to mess around, not get caught at all, and I mean, not make some of the slip-ups we've seen so far. 27-second Uberad being lost out there, but doesn't matter too much when you're kind of playing through these choke points. They're just waiting for their chance to go. Garda Panteri don't have any pressure on them. They don't have to push forward. It really is on loobie, and loobie know that as they start to move forward. Again, Kesh is behind. They're really looking to spit these players out. Chris goes low, doesn't go down, however, instead, it's actually loobie who lose 2. Jungle and Blutard both going down here. Kesh does manage to do something in the back line, but the rest of their team is just 3 players. They use into them. The force comes out as the trade goes through, but they've already lost 1 player.
Okay. I'm so nervous for Yellen just running around with 1 HP and there's a scout lurking behind. It would be so tragic to just get chip shot from across the map, but okay, he will actually survive that. Alright, but yeah, Kesh still back here, tries to ambush the soldier, but soldier gets out alive. And there we go. He has been spotted. I think he's just going to try and pressure the back cap, but no way he's going to get that in time. So if he can get back to last, that will be a success story. Unable to do so, though.
A lot of players waiting in lobby, waiting for their chance here, but that damage is great. Shabib there. You do see a player in the back. They actually managed to cut him out. Prince is still on. Oh. That's 5 points for Garda Panteri there, as they changed the server level right on time. So we're going to be getting right on over to that one. But a great start for Garda Panteri, as we kind of expected, right, Peter?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't clean like I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a pretty leisurely walk in the park there, but it looked really, really dicey for a whole lot of times. And even the times that they got the cap out, it kind of felt like they got kind of lucky or something, and then they managed to roll it all the way into last. You know, it wasn't like a solid type of last push just scenario that they usually won in. So yeah, it was a fun match. I'll say that. It was very fast. You know, 24 minutes and 33 seconds is all it took to get 7 rounds on the board. That's pretty fast. And yeah, the team both seem very willing to just send players in all the time.
Yeah, honestly, that kind of gets me excited, right? Because obviously we're looking at Gullywash, a map that's generally pretty slow, and they were going ham there. We're moving over to Process next. Do you think we're going to see... Well, I expect at least similar levels of aggression, right? Maybe even more.
Yeah, it's a very different type of feel for this map because, yes, you're going to have soldiers screaming through this choke a lot. All right, that's just going to happen. But they do have to actually cover some more distance to be able to actually put some pressure on. The thing about Gullywash is that you're really close to your opponent at all times, basically. So, you can just do a single rocket jump and you're on the med, basically, if you time it right and you don't get bounced around. Whereas on process, yeah, you're probably going to have to do like a speed shot and then hit the ramp and do another shot, that kind of stuff, right? And be in the skybox, and then you can land on the medic. If you just do a single rocket jump through process choke, like, you're not going to do anything. You're just going to land on the low ground, and everyone's going to laugh at you, and the scouts are going to bully you, and you die. So it's a very different feel. And you also can't quite send players behind in the same way. You can a little bit, but the chokes are much smaller and easier to prevent from happening. So a lot of these staple plays that we saw in Gullywash are not going to be present here on process. So it's going to have a very different feel, I suspect.
Yeah, I think that's very true about it, because I think, yeah, as you're saying, the fact that these chokes that you're exiting through are just like less of a death trap. Obviously, they're still somewhat. It makes a big difference, right? It means that you can actually escape. Whereas I think there was a lot of times those meds they just kind of exploded, because where the hell are they supposed to go, right?
Yeah. I could actually see medics dying quite a lot less, and that could actually make this map a lot more slow in a way. That would actually make some sense to me. But obviously, if soldiers are on their game and they're just hitting those shots, and they just come in and they just hit that like 60 damage rocket right next to you, and then you just get the easy direct after that. There's not a whole lot you can do, because you can't surf the small rocket very easily as a medic. So if the soldiers are just playing it perfectly, then it's tough. And they are going to land on your head. They really just are. But we'll see. It's also, yeah.
Yeah, no, we will really see. I think these mids are going to be particularly interesting, because we saw, as well as the med, a lot of pressure on these demos. I think that Shabib and Kido were both having a rough time of it, really. And I'd be interested to see with these kind of positions. I mean, I look at this map and I go, well, the scouts should have a better time actually stopping these soldiers here. So perhaps we see those demos come a little bit more into play. So I'm interested to see if that will actually come to fruition, or whether it is just, again, soldiers go ham, they take that height and kind of go from there, and the rest of the classes kind of play second fiddle. I have a feeling that I think the scouts will be a little bit more leading the charge. I think in particular, Kej was having a great last map. I really want to see that again on process. I'd be so excited.
He went 21-10, which is really good considering how many times he was just hanging out alone behind lines, right? That usually doesn't end up with a good KD. Like, you might make some good plays, but yeah, it's almost more of a Roma play style where you get some important stuff done, but then your KD is going to suffer and your logs are going to be ugly. But no, his logs are good. But yeah, I definitely think that we're going to see a higher damage and heal spread on the scouts in this map, just in general. I think it's more of a scout map.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, we're about to go live here again on this map, and just to reiterate the stakes here: loser, if loobie loses this, they are out. They are not making it into Prem. If Garda win this, they will just move on to the next round of the qualifying playoffs, and they'll play the winner of the other match, and then the winner of that will get into Prem. But we have another mid, or the first mid, I should say.
Yep. Elimination opportunity here. There's Garda Panteri, they want to play aggressive, but look at those soldier bombs, they're coming on in. Nunya is safe, but the rest of their team takes a lot of damage here. Junjil wants to back on up and decides to commit here, really wants to get aggressive, but those scouts pick him out. And a lot of low health players on Garda Panteri, but they do win the round. Sorry, didn't win the mid, not the round yet.
Yeah, they're definitely in a good position to win this mid, but Seeds did escape. He did the classic Seeds play and actually got out of there in ample time, and they're going to be able to set up a last defense. It's going to be pretty difficult to come in here with a good Uber ad, but Bud just comes flying through this choke with a speed shot. So they are in deep, but they can't put pressure on the point yet. So I actually think this Uber was a little bit premature. I think they got too eager, and they don't really get a whole lot. They have a soldier behind. I think Bud just wants to get out, but no, he's just fighting it. I think he's calling for his team to get back in here. Everyone's just clustered together here over on the right side. Sentry guns are being spammed out really heavily, And this is just very, very uncomfortable. And then finally, you just have a fight here. Devilman goes down, Uber comes out from Seeds. That's going to ward everyone off, but they basically get no kills out of it. Bud is, yeah, not long for this wall. He's going to get taken down, but the re-aggression is about to come in now.
Yeah, they are contesting the point. A lot of pressure onto the scout. Vox stays alive, and the rest of the team just hang on. And honestly, the fact that they're willing to scrap time and time again is absolutely brilliant for them. That wasn't looking like the best scenario for loobie, at least initially. They didn't have that. They had like 40 Uber disad. And I think that's what Garda Panteri were looking to capitalize on. They didn't know quite the Uber disad, so they're like, let's just go. Let's just try and catch that medic as they're building. But it didn't work their way. They had to really hard fought that. And despite the fact that they got rid of all the sticks, they got rid of the sentry, they still had to deal with an Uber, and they played the fight really slow and really, really well. So they're looking to try and bring that in again here, playing with some measured aggression and making sure they don't lose too much. But with Vox already gone, I think that's a retreat.
Yeah, Bluton gets so much damage there, but tries to get onto Seeds, unable to get so. And somehow does like no damage. I kind of feel like he almost shot himself or something. Alright, Soda comes into the choke here. Seeds under a lot of pressure, but no, it's just going to be Chris being juggled in choke right now. Hex does go down. So we might be back in a bit of a standoff here, but yeah. They want to go back in. I love it. Whenever it's a 4-on-4, a lot of same teams would just retreat, right? Oh my god, Bluton gets taken down. This is actually a really great Uber exchange already for Garda. And they're just going to keep on going forward. They got soldiers forward now, and then just ward everyone back, put on a ton of pressure. There's no way Bud survives this, right? He's actually doing so much work, getting so much distraction coming in here. Somehow Shappy is still just healthy despite being airshot as well. Everyone's back out. Yeah, the pressure is just real coming out of Garda.
Honestly, I'm really impressed by it. The fact that they send a soldier in to keep the opposing number really like stuck back meant that the med could move forward as aggressively as they liked with the rest of the combo. Really nicely done by Garda, and understanding that they have to apply that pressure to get their space in, and using those soldiers really effectively. Something that we said was going to be really important in this series.
It's a tiny Uber ad on Seeds here. It's definitely not something you can push on, but if Condog is not careful, they might just decide to go through choke whenever they think they're safe, and then they could be faced with a pretty early Uber there, but they don't do anything. Not surprising here. I think they're just healing up some soldiers right now. Maybe they're gonna try to do some jumps in through. We see a lot of fake bombs in, and this might be one of them, and then the second soldier usually comes through, but might just all be a big distraction for them to come in through lower. Yeah, it's gonna be a double scout Uber through lower, very aggressive. Take down Kid, who somehow the Seeds cannot flash everyone in time, and this has just worked out beautifully.
Oh, they let loose the dogs of war there as the scouts jump forward, but they do lose a player. He's going to be even in terms of pretty much everything. You're going to get Kesh over on this heavy to try and keep them away, but the aggression is coming through them instantly. They're going straight for the point. They're going straight for these players. Hex is getting aggressive onto Shabib, but it's going to be the rocket that actually does it, and they take down the med. I mean, Jungle even survives that one. I cannot believe it. And Garda Panteri, they fumble the last push.
Too many players just getting caught in the same choke, the same doorway. Very unfortunate for them there, but it is nice to see that the really heavy aggression will actually get punished sometimes. I think that's also why it's been such a fast game overall. It's just that Garda, they're really willing to do that very aggressive push-in, but then when it fails really hard, and everyone just ends up dying. Okay, we do have to jump in now. Kidu's going to try his best to actually catch out these players and choke. Looks like Bud's going to be the only one that actually ends up being left behind there on mid. So that's overall a pretty good result. And this is the Uber seesaw we're entering now, where the Ubers are about 50% separated from each other. So you're going to use in your Uber, try to catch the enemy medic, and then if that doesn't work, you cap out the point, and then you set up and wait for them to push in and do the same thing to you. It's always pretty fun to see. Okay, it's just going to be a scout Uber, and they're going to get everyone back. They've gotten no kills so far. Okay. They're just going to exchange points, it looks like.
Yep. going to be Uber pretty significantly for the side of loobie, though, and I think they can smell that. Moving through choke already. Look at that. Linkard trying to get some space, but look at how aggressive again Yellen is. Will get the force, won't make it out, but that's fine by them. They managed to take out their own medic. They don't lose Nunya here, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, again, Kiru's so far forward. I think he's just going to get caught out. Oh my god, that's a really nice rocket. Chris will get the justing. It's a follow-up rocket there as well. Again, just the aggression from Kiru. It can be a bit much sometimes. Gets caught out over and over again. Well, I don't want to say got caught out. He was just the first to die there in that fight, but now he's going to be Condog with the 80%. He's not really building very fast, but he doesn't need to. Seeds is still dead. So if they can just stop the sentry gun from being built too far, then that's more than enough here.
It is. Uber popped straight away. They're not messing around. They're not trying to get sniped. They take down that sentry. They clear the sticks off. But the aggression there from Jungle provides them the space they need. The second soldier jumps, but there's just no space for anyone else. And another round on the board for Garda here as they keep that pressure up. You've seen again these chokes be really problematic. It's not been quite as bad as Gully. But so many players getting caught in these chokes, these retreats, need to be a little bit more careful for loobie.
Yeah, and talking about being caught in a choke, they were just all caught in spawn there. They couldn't get out. There's just a ton of pressure from the demo man and the soldiers and everyone else to just really keep them in there on the choke. And they were like, okay, Kiru's going to get jumped immediately. Oh, Chris with the nice air shot there. Just jumps on it immediately. He is going to get revenged on, but Hex has gone down as well. That's that. That was that mid. Thank you for watching. That's just happens sometimes. Great job there by Chris.
Yeah, really nicely done. And without the demo, they just can't hold here. They have to back off into that last. I'm surprised we don't see a sentry already being built, because I just don't think there's any way they're contesting that at all.
Yeah, they are going to do it now. Could have done a little bit faster, but yeah. Not easy. It is an even Uber situation, so it's not quite as critical. So you might not just get the push coming down your throat immediately here. It might just be a bit of a more long-term play. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see Yalin just plus forward in there, see if he can get something done. Then he just comes back on sniper.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Might be a nice way to crack things open, because this is a decent position to be holding right now. Got the level 2 on point, got the dispenser being set up, but some sticks going in. They maybe want to get rid of some of these pieces before they make that push proper.
Ooh,
they even take down Hex here. Fox is actually going to barely live. Oh, no, does go down in the end. With Chris gone as well, they're lacking a couple of players. They begin to back off. They're not committing towards this one.
Yeah, alright. Okay, Yali has not run back. Maybe it's just going to be the Voxtech sniper instead. Maybe I'm just wrong on that. Yeah, they're just not going to snipe at all. Okay. I was so sure. Like, when I saw Voxtech running like that, I was just like, okay, this man wants to snipe. I was so sure of it. He just wanted to take a fight. I guess he didn't like sitting back here. And I want to say they do quite a bit of shenanigans with man threats and that kind of stuff. They really seem to favor that. We've seen that a lot out of other teams. So far, haven't really seen any of that, but definitely keep your eyes peeled to make sure that doesn't happen. Actually, his soldier's going to go down here, but second soldier goes in. Actually, they're just going to take the Uber exchange right now. Seeds is popping so much later, though. They're just going to have to retreat and hope they don't get overwhelmed. Actually, Shappy might not make it out alive. He does. Wow. All right. I was so sure he had been caught out, but actually he's going to end up just sniping Hex there with Sticky.
Yeah. They are going to hold out there. The Uber / the chase onto some of those players couldn't really happen too much because of the pressure placed onto last. But it's not too problematic for them. loobie can have another go. They didn't lose out here. There's only going to be a 20 Uber disad. It's not the most important thing in the world. So they should be able to hold out here, especially with a sentry of some description. They do swap over now.
Yeah, just going to slowly try to build it open. Looks like he really favors that spot on top of the point. But yeah, that's actually not going to live very long. They go in right now. Actually, they take down the soldier. Seeds, he has 99% in spot. Okay, he's going to Uber out now, so now they can actually hold last. There's a soldier up top. He probably could have gotten the medic if he hadn't given his position away, but he just wants to fight anyway. And I guess that works out now when everyone else comes in. Yeah, but He played that well. I'm dumb. He shouldn't have been hiding. I was like, he should just hide and get the med, but instead he just did like 500 damage. That's going to enable his team to come back in. Garda going to take a 3-0 lead. This is kind of what I was expecting on Gullywash, but I don't want to count out loobie just yet. We've seen how quickly they can take back rounds.
Yeah. No, it is really scary to see Garda winning this out so dominantly, but don't forget that loobie do have the ability to just absolutely nail it, like we've seen on Gullywash. Sure, they didn't win the map, but they showed us just how quick they can be. Yeah, that is so greedy, but Bud jumps in, takes down Kino. It's the opposing Demo who is the first to fall, and this shows just how hard Garda commit to their opportunities. When they smell blood in the water, they don't muck around.
I can't believe he survived that. He just walked into 5 people and like on that left side and lived. So Shappy just made out of some different stuff, man. I don't quite understand it. They're gonna walk the choke now very aggressively. I think that was just a big look at us move as Yalen has actually snuck behind, and I don't think, okay, they are looking for him, so you can definitely see Blue Tide is going back there to deal with him, but dealing with a single scout on last is so annoying. He can just run away for such a long time. They do have 2 players on him now. Gonna be a soldier and a scout versus 1 scout. There we go. Yalen will eventually eat a single solitary rocket there, and that's gonna be that. Meanwhile, Voxtec has been taken down as well. Trying to get onto seeds. He had a bodyguard, unable to do so. Now we're gonna see this pushing onto mid, I think.
Yeah, they're gonna absolutely hunt that one. They're gonna chase him all the way back. Hex even gets in, takes down Prez. And, well, they go straight back to the mid. They're gonna get that cap now. They have a player advantage, but it doesn't really look like they're in a great spot to really push it, so. Especially with no men, right? They do have a pretty significant Uber disad here, probably 60 to maybe 70, depending on when Seeds actually gets to lay hands on another person.
Yeah, like an idiot would have definitely sent 5 players in to try and get Condog there, but they're not stupid. they're not completely insane, so they're just gonna do the jump in when they actually get Condog. Really big skybox jump there from the soldiers, and eventually take them out. Kidu again really far forward. Does have a scout in his face. I think they're just going to be safe enough here. They're just blobbed up here. There's a single scout behind lines. That's Yalen again, just living behind lines. And I do think they know about it, but I'm not 100% sure. So definitely got to keep an eye on it. Okay, they're not looking for him at all. Okay, so Yalen has successfully infiltrated the enemy lines here.
As Yellen is wont to do, they are contesting that mid so hard right now. And you can see that the rest of that push did not work out. They even lost their med for it. They're losing player after player. Blue Tard, you might make it out, buddy, but your team has certainly lost more than you really could bear. Tries to go for a cheeky pickaxe there, but it doesn't quite work out for them.
Yeah. Oh, he's still so likely to die.
Oh, you can see how greedy Chris is for that one, but chooses not quite to dive into the enemy last.
Inches from dying there. It's going to help his team hold last a little bit better. Have some more spam here. You know, if he had died there, I'm pretty sure they could have just gone through 1 really aggressively there and put on a ton of pressure. But yeah, when there's a second soldier, you definitely don't want to run into that kind of spam. Instead, they're going to go far right in through 5. And they're in deep, and they have not popped yet.
No, they just didn't need to. No one was really contesting them. They could force players back on in, completely zone them off, have a scout just sit on that point. The sticks are on, yeah, but it just didn't matter. And completely hold up in the spawn room. loobie look like they're starting to lose that luster we saw from them earlier.
Yeah, Condog hits them with defensive GG. It's 4-0. That's not how that works, Condog. You need to get 5 rounds to win. So it's still looking very, very promising here. Again, it's been pretty quick. We played 60 minutes, so there's 14 minutes remaining. So if they can get 4 rounds in that time, they can absolutely still get rolled back here. So let's hope that they just keep up their focus right now. And this time around, it's going to be Shabby getting jumped by both soldiers. That's actually evil, just sending in both soldiers like that. And they both survive as well. This is basically an over mid already.
Yeah. They got a lot there. They clean on up. You can see that Chris is, well, pretty much gone. They do manage to keep the med alive.
Oh, and it's Kritzkrieg on Zeets as well.
Oh, wow. I was wondering why there was such a massive Uber disad. But 100, they're going to have to get in there pretty quick. They're going to want to use that before there's any sort of problems. And there we go. They go straight in. There's the crits, and there goes Condog. Really nice frag to get. I don't even think they're going to get much more, but does it really matter?
They got the demo man, they got the medic. What more do you want? Like, those are the key picks. If they just push in now, put pressure on the point, this should be their round to win, and it's going to be a quick one. Exactly what they need.
Yeah, get one on the board and then keep that momentum going. That's what they're looking for right now. Players again stuck in that spawn. You can see that Condog wants to try and come on out, but they hold strong for now. That left-hand side position is not working out so well for loobie. They actually get forced out as the jumps come forwards, but they don't lose too much. Just those soldiers, importantly keeping the med and their scouts alive. So that med is going to likely stay alive.
Yeah, Seeds, 90 crits again. Does not have a demo man to use it on. This is actually really awkward. I think he might just use on a scout. Yeah, because this is a terrible spot for a soldier to be critted on. Soldier's going to just bomb them and choke as well. This is a disaster. Seeds is not going to be happy with this. Kale is in behind, actually on the med. Yeah, takes him out. Really nice play. Gets a demo man as well. Salvages the situation quite a bit here. As Blue Tot going to take another fight here, but eventually will just retreat out of there as he is the lone survivor of his team.
We have lost the control point.
Yeah, it looked like it was the chance for loobie to really make it happen, but it's just not working. They can't turn it into the win here. They can't turn it into the round, seemingly into anything else as they lose 3 players. I mean, with Seeds dead as well, this is looking like it might just be a roll on through. And that'll be Garda Panteri knocking them out, knocking them out of a chance of Prem here. Can they hold? They need a miracle.
Condog feels inspired. He's gone Kritzkrieg as well. So this is going to be over quick, I think. So as already Yellens in, takes down Hex on Sniper. And they can just move in now. I think we're about to see the shabby Kritzkrieg.
Yeah.
Ooh, gets 2 in the spawn door. Perfect. This is all they need.
Yeah, that is it. That is all she wrote, folks. As they cut away the rest of the players. There's 1 remaining in the spawn room. They can finish that one off. And Garda Panteri have booked themselves a ticket to fight for that chance for Prem. Up against, well, the match that's going on in Essentials.tf. Essentials TF over on Twitch. So if you want to check in for that one, no worries. We won't hold it against you.
Yeah, it's going to be either Aware or Big Bloke Season. Of those two, I think Big Bloke Season is probably the favorites to win that one.
I believe in the demo night, man.
It's the Odin demo night. Why would you bet against that? I haven't looked at it enough. I don't actually know how the rest of the team plays properly. I just never took it seriously. I was like, yeah, that's never gonna make it into anything. But yeah, it looks like they actually have a chance to get into Prem. So, I just looked at it, and yeah, it is still happening right now. So I think we just wrap this up quick. So yeah, definitely go check out that game. We're gonna rate it, and then this was Garda Panteri winning the map. They're gonna be playing against the winner of the next match that we're about to rate you to. So thank you, JMXGL, for producing so much, and thank you so much, Rook, for casting with me. Take us out of here if you have any last words.
I don't get us the demo night. That's all I can say.